Nick Clegg, the Prime Minister said recently that he's ready to send his daughter Nancy to a state secondary school because schools have improved so much. One of your children, I think, has now reached double figures. What's going to happen to him?
So I got 2 children at school, and one who's going to go to school next year, and my 2 oldest boys are at a local state school. It's a Catholic state school. My wife is Catholic, and they're brought up in her faith. And we're looking, like all parents are, at different options. Do you know the reason I'm not going to give you a full answer is I've never, ever, ever sought to make my children's education or my children political football. I keep my children completely. I keep my children completely out of the public eye.
But I think I can ask
yes, no, absolutely. But once
secondary
or
private, state or private.
Well, my own view is if we can and if it works out to send them to a good state, we will do so. But I'm not going to make the education.
If you can, what does that mean? Why won't you be denied then?
Well, like all parents who are sending their children to secondary school in London, as you know, there's huge competition for places, and you don't.
But a place is always found.
Well, we don't yet know where and exactly at what school. So look, I'll be the first to.
So if it's not the school in your choice,
I'll be
you
the
might
first
look
to
privately.
I'll be the first to tell you, Nick. But I'm not, and I never have sought to, if you like, impose a decision on my wife as well as my son because of political reasons. But as I say, they're educated at the moment in the in the state sector. Both our oldest children are, and I will let you know as soon as the decision has been arrived at.
Deputy Prime Minister, but some state schools don't fit the bill.
I want my child. I've always said I'm a father before I'm a politician. I want my child to have the best possible education. I would never ever begrudge any parent, whether they send their children to a private school or a state school, to do the best for their children. It's the most fundamental instinct anyone has. And by the way, I have that raging through my veins as much as any father who wants the best for my child.
Yeah. So if needs be, you'll say, look, I sent both my boys private. If that makes it easier, I was privately educated. I know you were. If needs be, you would send them privately.
I have never said, and I will say again, I've never said that I'm going to sort of make a political issue of my child's education. I want the best for him,
but
and that will always be the what's uppermost in my mind when we make those decisions.
Private, if it has to be.
As I said, I'm not.
Why can't you say those words, Deputy Prime Minister?
I've said it before. It's not about whether it's private or public. In that sense, you're quite right. It can be either. I just want the best for my child, and that's exactly what I think most people listening to this programme want for their children as well.